Hey guys, my name is Trevor,
And I'm Nick.
and you are listening to episode 7 of Shots and Thoughts. That's really bad. All right, guys, this is episode 7. In this show, Shots and Thoughts, me and Nicholas here. I'm just trying to add this more, explaining what the show is for any newcomers, because nobody's gonna watch it from episode 1 up.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Well, nobody's watching anyways, but we'll get there. We'll get there one day.
I watch it.
I watch it, yeah.
When I edit it, and then I don't watch it again.
Okay, fair enough. So in this show, it is about 35 minutes long. It tends to go a little longer. It is called Shots and Thoughts for a reason. We take a shot every 5 minutes, and in total we take like 6 shots. We started off with one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a descent into madness. I like to think of it as a
Ooh.
progression to absolute garbage.
You can see how our intellect, which just plummets throughout. Usually around shot 3.
Yeah.
Shot 3 is when I'm just like, fuck it.
I mean,
Off
it
the
doesn't
rails.
fall very far, but it falls.
For like a special date, we have to do like a bigger fall, like to where it's like on the 3rd shot we take double, or like something to where we get more drunk.
We've done 7 before.
Yes,
we did
that
that
was
in the
my
past.
birthday, right?
Yeah, it was. I
No,
think.
and before that, and we've done it
We've
before.
done it again.
Dang. Wow, that's happened more. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah, it's not fun.
that's the show. We get drunk, and you can say, most of the time it's funny, but we also I also enjoy exploring some, subjects that are a little bit more controversial or a little bit more down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because, we're human, and that's how I feel like it should be like that. Those are some of my favorite podcasts, are ones that you can actually like relate to.
Yeah.
Or ones that like they can be funny, but it's not bad when they go down into a serious route.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about that if you listen to many podcasts.
I'm not like a crazy avid podcast listener, but I watch like films and stuff like that, and I watch like short films and like things along those lines. And I think it was kind of interesting because like originally when I started out making films, they were very comedic, and like my work tended to be pretty lighthearted and kind of like I'm in high school and I make films, they're edgy. And like they were kind of like dark humor, like stuff like that, but it definitely shifted over like to a more serious tone after I started like doing it like in like a more professional manner, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
once I started like actually like studying it and like kind of treating it as like a discipline rather than like a hobby. Like
Yeah,
it definitely shifted.
That. I've definitely noticed that in your work. Like I remember doing videos with you in high school.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more goofy. Usually getting Brandon naked.
Yep. Get Brandon naked, make him run around.
Make him run around as a lady.
Yeah. Or a cowboy.
Or a cowboy. Or me singing to Britney Spears running on a treadmill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Videos like that. But now you make videos now to where, man, I'll tear up. Like
That's good.
It'll almost bring me to some tears.
I want people to be in pain when they experience my work, if that makes sense.
But that's like so cool how it's just like music, how it can like influence your feelings and like so dramatically from one side to the other. Like you can be having a great day and you could hear a sad song or see a sad movie, and it's like you're done. Like your day is brought down. Like if you hear something dramatic or see something like that. And so when you're able to recreate real emotion,
Yeah.
but through a film
Mm-hmm.
that's being acted, I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Part of the reason why I enjoy filmmaking is because you get to like kind of inspire these emotions in people.
Okay.
And you can kind of you create a forced perspective of an experience that someone could never create otherwise. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of like our era, is being able to experience these stories in a way that's more real than they've ever been before. And I think that is where the future is.
Wow. That's impressive.
Thanks.
Nice.
You had something on your notes about Nazis and pugs.
Yeah, okay, so this is, I mean, a lot of the stories I end up doing on this show are a little bit old in terms of the YouTube world, because, you know, something that was new today, it's going to be old news tomorrow in the YouTube world. Like, it passes very quickly, unless it's Logan Paul.
You got to get the news before it starts.
Yeah, but, so, I'm throwing some old stuff in there, so I'll get to this Nazi pug right after this shot.
I'm
this
just
is
like,
shot number 2.
You talked to me about it before the show. You said Nazi pug, and you didn't tell me anything about it, and it's been sitting there, and like Nazi pug.
I feel like it's gonna let you down, but we're gonna see. Like I feel
it doesn't even have to be a big thing.
I feel like your hype's a little bit high.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, what are we cheersing to, Nick?
Ah man, today we are gonna toast 2 red vines, the licorice.
See, I'm not a fan.
Don't like licorice?
No, I'm not a fan. I like red licorice is okay.
Okay.
Black licorice is Satan.
I like black licorice.
No, it's bad. There's nothing good about that flavor.
I like it.
It is awful. But anyway, I guess it's a classic. I guess that's why I could cheers to it. You know? Licorice is a classic. I always remember, like, I feel like just old people like licorice, I feel like.
They do. Licorice and butterscotch.
Yeah. Which are both mediocre candies, in my opinion.
They've gotten better. But actually, at the same time, we'll talk about this in a second.
It's because you're getting old, damn it. Okay, cheers. Oh, we didn't even talk about what we're drinking today. Today is recycle day. We're broke. We had extra alcohol, so I'm drinking the Captain Morgan, not a sponsor, from last week. And Nick is drinking Platinum Vodka, 7 times distilled. And that is also a reuse. We've spit it back in the bottle, and now we're drinking it a second time.
Yeah. It tastes like the inside of a shampoo lid. Like the shower cap, where like all the half dried, half moist shampoo gets stuck. Just tastes, I imagine that if I were to take that bit and I were to just like get up in there, like splash around for a bit.
Try it?
Man.
No, I don't.
That's
It's just like
I like the description you put on
it's rough. That's all I can say about it.
Because that's something I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of those things in the world that everybody noticed but nobody talks about. It's just one of those little things, like everybody sees that, like when you open up a tube of toothpaste and the whole outside is crusted.
I fucking hate that shit. That pisses me off.
Yeah, wipe it.
Like my
I don't know how you
my
get it
personal
all around the
toothpaste
outside. You just gotta
is just like so pristine, and then like I also don't understand like how it happens. I get it like the first time it happens, but like it doesn't just become that bad. Like it doesn't just happen.
It's like they just let themselves go. They're like, fuck it, we did it once.
Yeah, like as soon as it starts, you never put the lid back on.
Yeah, yeah. Or when you do, it's just like caked on there. It's like all you have to do. Here, I'm gonna give a little lesson.
Okay.
You hold out your toothbrush, you hold it the opposite direction, pointing towards the brush, and you connect it at the end. And when you squeeze, you pull with it. You don't just fucking get some shit out and mash it on top like it's your. Yeah, you don't do that. I don't know that's always been a pet peeve of mine. Like it's just, or when they brush their teeth and they spit into the sink, and they leave.
Yeah, like that.
The shit in there.
Just turn the water on when you spit.
It's awful.
Turn it on.
It'll
go down on its own. You don't even have to wipe it out. Like it's done. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But when you leave that shit in the sink, it's not fine. Okay, that's a problem. That's an issue.
That's a rabbit hole. I don't know what that started with, but anyways, I'll get to the jail for a Nazi pug. Okay.
Yeah. Jail.
Yes.
Ooh.
I added a little bit, but not for the pug.
Oh.
Okay, so.
Damn it.
There's a story. I think the UK. I think in the UK, laws are different there in terms of freedom of speech.
Yeah, the old uck.
Yeah, the old uck. You know. And they some guy, his girlfriend she was always bragging about how cute her puppy was. She has a pug, and he didn't like the dog, right?
Yeah.
He was like, this girl is so obsessed with this dog, like more obsessed with this dog than me. Like it's like it just turned into something crazy, right? She always talked about how he could never do anything bad. So, while she was gone during the day, he ended up teaching the pug how to hail Hitler. to where when he said Hail Hitler, the pug would sit up and shoot its arm out. And he taught the pug how to do this. And he posted a video of it on Instagram and YouTube and stuff and said, look, this pug isn't as sweet as you guys think. It's doing one of the most disgusting acts ever. But at the beginning of the video, mind you, this is an important part, he did claim, he was like, just letting you guys know, I understand how offensive it is. I do not support anything. It's one of the worst. I made this dog do one of the worst things that you could possibly do just to prove a point to my wife, you know. So it was all in good fun and games. Mm-hmm. Well, that guy is going to prison.
For how long?
I don't know. He was still in court.
Oh, okay.
But because it went viral, obviously, and he would play the actual soundtrack of like Hitler saying "Hail Hitler," and then everybody yelling, and this dog would stick its arm out like that. And the guy went to jail because you don't have freedom of speech there. The freedom of speech is different. There's different laws.
There's more restrictions and there's a lot of worry lingering around giving any of that stuff any legitimacy or power, which there should be, because if it shows just the fact that it happened in the first place shows how easy it is to not realize how terrible something is that you're doing until it's already way too late.
Yeah.
And that shit's cray. It's time for number 3.
Shot number 3. We are cheersing to shooting stars.
Ooh, shooting stars. Way off in the distance. Wow. I said that.
I thought you were gonna continue.
I was really trying to stall until I had something, but it didn't work. Shooting stars. Shooting stars are used as an icon for making wishes, and that's cool, but also kind of sad because you can make wishes, but at the end you gotta make wishes. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I go with that. Cheers. You gotta make wishes. All right. Was that shot number 3? Is that camera still rolling? Are we still rolling? All right. That's what I thought. Good. Just making sure. So, oh yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty crazy how in certain places you don't have that freedom to say what you want, you know? That kind of blows my mind. I feel like you should be able to say what you want, but repercussions are inevitable.
Yeah.
For example, a couple months ago, there was that guy who was in Seattle running around the streets with swastikas on his forehead, and he was being really racist to anybody on the street, right?
Yeah.
And he was being a dickhead, you know? And he got the shit beat out of him. People just kicked the shit out of him. So I feel like there's gonna be repercussions.
Yeah, you're asking for it when you go out that, and you're because that guy is either trying to get a reaction out of something, which he did, or he genuinely believes that, and he is out there spreading and kind of pushing his own offense and harassment on other people. Yeah. So
so he's doing
either way, you're kind of you're drawing that to yourself. You're not out there having it done to you.
Yeah, obviously, in my opinion, probably some mental health issues. Anybody who's that fucking over the top and radical is usually kind of, they're a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I think it's still important. For instance, he got in trouble for making a joke about Nazis, right? But in my opinion, it's good that we joke about it, because that makes us remember that we're still human, and we're still here, and we're still and it still happens. Being able to joke about it reminds us and keeps it in our minds as something fresh. It's just a more healthy way to express it.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting hurt by joking about it unless it did affect you and your family. But I think it's important that we can make jokes about things that have happened, or else we'll forget about them.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because I think that being able to make something that was at one point something serious, I guess, is really, really drunk way of saying it, Being able to turn something that once had fear attached to it into something that's a joke kind of takes away the power from it, and you're taking away any like
Agreed.
any of its ability to be taken seriously, which has pros and cons because like there's always like the fact that like, well, if no one takes it seriously, then it happens again. But if if everyone just takes it seriously and like constantly is like over here like mourning over it and like just like holding on to it and like lingering on like this thing that's happened, well then you get like the opposite effect where you're making it so they kind of win. Like
and you never
you're giving them this one event all this power over like how you live your life and how you experience like your existence, and rather than being able to enjoy your life by kind of like making it into a joke, which kind of lessens its impact on you, but also it brings you into that blind zone again. So it's like there's a balance where like there's a time and a space for it, but like I think that arrest is kind of like probably not that big of a deal. But obviously we don't really understand how things are somewhere else. So we can't really like justify or defend.
I agree. And I mean, we shouldn't be mourning over things that have happened so far, like so long ago, but it's good to be able to joke or talk about them in a civil way, in a way that like reminds you about something that was a mistake in the past that can't be forgotten. Like we cannot forget about that day in the history of ever, or else it will repeat itself. We have to remember that is what happens. Wow. Okay.
We're already on 4.
Yeah, we're 30
oh,
seconds.
dang!
Okay, well then I guess I'll jump start into this next. Actually, no, I'll just say sorry for the bad audio last episode. Right as soon as we were done.
Yeah, like I went over to the computer, I clicked stop on the recording on my laptop, and it just crashed. And I was like, "We lost it all. It's gone."
We lost all of it, so the audio is awful. Sound like we recorded it on an iPhone.
Which
that probably would have been better.
Some iPhone footage looks okay. My big complaint about iPhones is the same complaint that I have with point and shoots. It's that you don't have any control.
Wow.
Sorry, that wasn't really relevant.
All right. What are we?
We're gonna toast to. Let's toast to non-iPhone cameras. All of the other ones, DSLRs. Those are good. Mirrorless.
All right. Well, you're really putting me on the spot here because I know nothing about cameras.
But you like the things they make.
I like pictures.
Yeah.
I do enjoy pictures and videos.
Yes.
So shout out to cameras.
Yeah.
Because they're just they can really capture something.
Yeah.
A memory, and let you keep it. And the better the camera, the better the quality of that memory. You can see that memory in a better light. You've seen those old YouTube videos where it's like recorded on like a TI-82,
A TI-82?
Yeah. Calculator. It's recorded on like a calculator, and it's just awful footage, and it's so pixely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Sorry, Bridget's pushing us for this shot here. Cheersing to cameras because they're great. And I'm just joking, no. That was a logwood, sorry. Okay. So. Oh, I didn't even think of a would you rather. Oh, I got one from work. Oh, gosh, alright. Well.
Are you doing it?
I'll do it.
Ding the bell.
I'll do it. Alright, I'm going to ding the bell, guys. We don't actually have a bell yet, but Nick's going to edit in a little ding. So this is fake. And I feel like a poser. But it's not
as genuine, but
it's not as genuine because there's no bell here, but it's going to be like, and that was silent, but in the video there's going to be a ding. Anyways, so would you rather? Okay, I have to think of a good one here because there was one at work, and I don't know if it was a good one, but it did make me ponder for a while. And there are 2 ladies in the room, but
what does that have to do with it?
It's a guy question.
Oh, okay.
It's a guy question. I don't know if they'll be able to relate. Well, they will be able to relate because they have to put up with it, okay? We're talking about dicks. Talking about cocks.
Penis. Slippery whipperies.
Okay, so I'm sorry I don't have a good one this week, but I remember talking about this at work. So would you rather have like a 2-inch wiener?
Okay.
Okay? Hard. Erect.
Okay.
Okay? Ready for action. Or like a 14-inch wiener. And I thought it was a dumb question until I really started to ponder. And it's really, really hard to decide. Because they're both so difficult. Now, do you want me to give you a little bit of an argument for one?
Okay, so I'm going to propose that the 14-inch has its benefits.
Pass out because of all the blood loss.
That's okay.
No, not the same benefits that everyone else generally thinks about. I have my argument. What's your answer?
I really honestly haven't decided. I've been thinking.
You've been thinking about it.
This has been on my mind.
All right.
Because,
what do you have your argument for?
Okay. Both.
Both.
I have an argument for both.
Give me your tiny dick argument.
Okay, my tiny dick argument. Okay. One, this one's a little goofy, but you can find smaller girls who can be satisfied, okay? And you can perform well with it. You know, I know it's not much. It's a knuckle. But it'll do. If for some people. And you get the satisfaction of being nut deep.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that's like something that most men can agree with. That's something special. Something great. Okay?
But like, is it really worth it if like you're
But 3, there is no 3. I only got to 2, I think. It's just you can find someone who can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I do have something against it, and that is simply if you're someone with a low self-esteem or someone who is insecure, that's
gonna destroy
If I
you.
had a wiener that was 2 inches, I probably would be dead by now. Like, I probably would have offed myself. Like, my self-esteem would be so low.
I don't really know how I would even handle that. Like, I don't know what I would go about. Like, I could probably just like move to the mountains and just become like totally like neutral to everything around me, and I would just be one with everything because I have no like chance. That's how I would probably feel.
No chance to be intimate. Yeah.
But let me argue for you for the 14-incher.
I have some arguments also. Yeah.
So the 14-incher, yes, you're not gonna find any place that is gonna be able to accept your entire capacity. But on the other hand, you're not going to find anyone who you cannot equal the amount of length they would prefer.
Yes.
So you have like all of that covered. Even if you personally don't get all of that, you probably get more from enjoying someone else's sexual experience than you do from enjoying it yourself.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
So.
Wow.
Point number 2 for my I'm going to be a lawyer at some point. I have all these options for reasons why you should incriminate the 2-incher. Option number 2. Job opportunity.
What?
14-incher?
Yeah, porn.
You got a lineup of jobs, people willing to pay you money just to see that thing.
Even just modeling for underwear. You want to see the bulge.
Anything. Like literally, that lines you up for a number of things. And you can make it huge.
No pun intended.
No pun intended in the porn industry.
All right.
With the 14-incher.
I'm spilling some shots, sorry. Ooh, I got a hangnail. Oh, that burns. Oh, she burns. Okay, we're doing shot number 5, and we're going to cheers to hangnails.
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 Hangnails. Okay, so like this is an anti-cheer or a cheer? Like I'm supposed to say
what's good about them?
Or should I debate it? Should I tell you that it's not good? And
it's not good.
In fact, you're wrong.
Tell me it's not good.
Hangnails are not good because you can get like infections and shit, and you could die. You could literally die.
Okay, you really took that to a next level route there.
I read this article. I don't remember the name of the disease, but some guy in like England or whatever got a hangnail or some shit, and he was like the next few days he just started like getting really pale and like feeling like shit, and he was like, I don't know, man, I'm not feeling too good. And like, so they took him off and took him to the doctor, and was like, yeah, you need to like see a doctor now, like you're gonna die for a hangnail. Like,
he deserved it.
He earned that shit.
No, he deserved it. If if you get a hangnail, one of the most minute pieces of shit things like that could ever happen, like they're just so annoying and small. If you almost die from that, like that's natural selection, man. It was bound to happen. Like you're gonna die. Like just do it already. I'm sorry, guy.
If you got a hangnail?
If you got a hangnail and almost died from it, like you're ready to go.
Like you're just like you're
not meant to be.
You don't have the genetic ability to survive a hangnail?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Then there's something wrong. All right, well, shot number 5.
Hangnails,
to,
you know?
the hangnails.
Yeah,
We already did that. Wow. All right. So, I gotta ask you about your bucket list, Nick. We've been friends for a long time.
Okay.
We've been friends for a minute or two. 3rd grade, right?
Yeah.
You're a mysterious guy. I feel like knowing
Thank
you
you
this long, I should know more about you, but I don't.
There aren't very many people that know very much about me.
Bridget might, but I feel like Bridget's lost. I feel like even she doesn't know. You're such a mysterious guy.
Let me tell you the truth. It's not that I don't tell people things, it's that people don't ask questions.
Well, I ask questions, Nick, but like, you're the type of guy who's like, I'm like, hey, what do you want to watch? And you're like, oh, anything. I'm like, all right. Do you like this? Yeah. Okay. And like that's like you just go with it. And sometimes that's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's easy. But being a guy, especially like if I'm high, if we've been smoking a little bit, I'm like, I get paranoid. I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't think Nick's having a good time. But you're just like, I'm just living life.
I'm just experiencing right now. Like,
you know? And so I feel like, don't know what we were talking about at the beginning.
bucket list. We were talking bucket list.
Yeah, bucket list. So like, I've known you for this long, but at the same time, I feel like there's so much I don't know about you that I should. I'm not really necessarily offended by it, but it's like we're so deep into a friendship. It's like.
You have another battery pack?
Yes, I do have it. Did it die?
Just now.
Oh, guys, the battery died. But we will continue. There is a battery pack plugged in behind this white dresser here. It's going to be a little challenge to get to.
Am I getting to it?
Yes. Or Nick could help.
Please listen to this sweet, soft tune that we wrote.
Yes. Bridget, it's behind the dresser. Nick gonna have to move your chair. Gotta get the charger. Or not the charger. Gotta get the battery for the camera. Alright, we're done. We actually have to get the battery. We really. Oh,
you're gonna do it?
that was really crushing the pelvis.
Nice.
Hey.
Hey.
So,
You need to sync up again?
yeah.
No.
We don't.
Nah.
We don't need to
Yeah,
sync up again.
do it.
Yeah,
Fuck
we
it.
do need to sync up again. Ooh. That was good.
That's percussive.
All right. So, back to what we were saying, Nick. We were talking about bucket lists and how you're a pretty mysterious guy for how well I know you, or how long I've known you. I don't know you as well as I think I would. So, honestly, if I were to ask you, like, if you were to ask me what I think is on your bucket list, I've been friends with you for this long, and I don't really think I'd be able to say one thing. And that really...
For my bucket list.
Yeah, that really hit me hard. And I don't know what you would like to do. What do you want to do? Bucket list, something.
Are we talking like literally like everything on the bucket list, or like
no, like just
career, or like
just a couple key things in terms
life?
Of not career, not work related. What is something that you want to do before you die, and a couple key things.
Okay. I would like to go skydiving at some point, and that's like a really basic one, but
I wouldn't have called that.
Just doing that, skydiving, shit, yeah, like.
I would skydive with you.
I would skydive.
You won't skydive with me. I'm offended.
I will.
I will.
Sorry, Sydney. She said I wouldn't skydive with her. I would, but I said my dad might have a problem with it.
Oh, does your dad not like skydiving?
My dad did the whole skydiving training thing where you go. It's like a 7-day course where it's like, you know, you get taught the first day like of class, and then you go the next day, and each one it progressively gets less and less protection until you do your own free fall on the last day. So like you're strapped to your master and then all this stuff, and like most of the days, and then the last one's your own free fall. And he did that, but then a couple years later, his pilot was doing the class still, and he wrecked the helicopter, and it killed everybody on board. Damn. So he was in the pilot who taught my dad. So, or the pilot who flew my dad, I guess I should say. So like he's a little skeptical of it. He wants me to experience it, but he's just like a little like freaked out.
Yeah.
But
with reason.
I really want to. That's funny you mentioned that because that is one of the things on my bucket list. I just wouldn't think that you like. I just don't. I wouldn't have guessed that you would want to do that because I've always wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. And like, now we can do it together. Yeah. You know, we could do a podcast. Yeah. But like, what else do you have?
I'm gonna go. It started out as a joke, but I really one of my friends from college pointed out the idea to me. He's talking about backpacking through China, and I think it started out as a joke, but I'm so down, and I will spend it like backpacking through China sounds dope. I'm gonna do that at some point. Doesn't matter when. But one thing that I really want to do before I become too settled in life in the U.S. is I want to move and live in a different country for an entire year and just experience an entirely different culture, like just to immerse myself in it and kind of like understand something from a completely unique perspective, because like I think it's important to know and like experience different lives and different ways of living as like someone who wants to create stories for a living. Then I feel like I'm obligated to have some experience and some knowledge of what that's going to be like, you know.
Yeah, I can see that because I mean I agree. If we were to take it down to a smaller level, like it's just like a boss. Like the best kind of manager or the best kind of CEO or GM is the one who has went through every position and the one who has seen through the eyes of everyone's position and understands the pros and the cons of that position, so that when you're able to look at things from like a bird's eye view, you can really pinpoint the most important details or things that need to be fixed. And I feel like if you're a little bit more of a philosophical type person and you want to have a say in what happens, or if you want to have a real good insight of how things should work and what's fair, I feel like you need to experience different cultures and different countries and different viewpoints, and poverty versus being rich versus being middle class and all those things. I think it's really important to get a good view on what things are important to fix. You know?
I agree. Yeah, you can't be expected to create guidelines when you don't even like understand how to use them or like how to play within them, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
That was a really shitty metaphor. But you're welcome.
Well, we're taking the last shot here.
Yes.
And we're going to continue on with a little bit of bucket list stuff.
All right. Final toast is going to be to CNC machines, my boy.
Wow. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
You guys may not know,
felt.
But I get to brag a little, not brag, but I get to kind of talk about me a little bit and be selfish, but I do machine. I am an apprentice aerospace CNC machinist, sometimes manual machine. I'm in an apprenticeship program, so CNC machines mean a lot to me. I didn't really think I was going to have a passion for them before I got into the position, but my dad was a machinist, so he got me into the position, and I love it. Cutting metal, I just want to go in there, get my hand. I want to cut some fucking metal, you know?
I just want to cut some metal, bro.
I just want to cut some fucking metal and make my part, and I want to make it pretty. I want nominal numbers. I make parts for airplanes, and I want them to look good. So CNC machines, we're toasting to them because if you understand a machine and you've ran parts and you've made parts, you see things from a different view in terms of every time I view an item that I buy at a store that is machined, I instantly analyze how it's machined.
And you can see the build quality.
And I can see how it's built. Perfect example, I just bought levers for my motorcycle, new levers. Shout out Trevor_2wheels Instagram motorcycle page.
There's motorcycle pictures on there.
There's pictures of my bike. But I just bought new levers, right? And I can see how they were cut, and I can tell that their face mill that they cut the top with was dull. I can see the smear marks in the metal, and I can tell that their tool was dull. So things like that, it's kind of like, it's really cool to pinpoint those things. You know, like, most things are casting, like a bed frame. You can't really tell because it's not machined, it's just cast. But, like, I'm able to see things that were machined, and I'm able to see how they were made.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's why I'm toasting.
It's a good perk.
Yeah.
It's something like you can like analyze, and when you go to like buy something, you can tell how well it was made.
Yeah.
It's like,
and what kind of process?
It's a good safety net for like investing in your house.
Yeah, I agree. Bridge is a little disappointed. We're taking a little too long. All right, shot number 6. Cheers.
Sorry, Dad.
Oh gosh. Extra 5 minutes. Okay. Well, Nick, I gotta say, I am intrigued by the fact that you would go on a backpacking trip through China. I would go.
Why is that?
I don't know. Like, I guess it's just because I don't know as much about you as I thought I would, or as I thought I did.
Yeah.
And, like, it sounds so corny, but, like, we just have a lot of the same interests. Maybe that's why we're friends.
Yeah. I mean...
But, like, backpacking through China is something that's also something I've always wanted to do. I think that would be very cool. There's YouTube videos of people, like, series of people just going through China. And I would definitely do that. I think that would be a very, very cool trip. And saving up the vacation time to take an entire month and just backpack and go through and experience, you know. And I don't know. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that China and Iceland are like my top 2.
Okay.
I definitely want to go to Iceland because I think Iceland has like crazy landscapes and like just the ecosystem and like the way that like everything is just naturally formed over there. Like that shit is wild.
Yeah. Yeah, like anywhere that's unique or a little bit different from the norm. Like
I'd want to go to like New Zealand too, just to see where the Shire is.
Yeah. I've wanted to go. I have been to Israel, so that was a cool experience. But I'm very disappointed that I was so close to Egypt, and never got to go.
Yeah.
Because I'm so fascinated with the pyramids and the Sphinx and how they were created, and if it's, you know, like how man could have made something like that. And it's so interesting to view, depending on what your viewpoints are. If it's man-made, alien-made, or whatever, it's pretty cool to like be able to see things that's like we couldn't even accomplish that now.
Yeah.
It would take us, I mean, so many years to accomplish one pyramid or one Sphinx now. So I've been to Israel, but I've never been to Egypt, which is right by there. And I felt like it would have been really cool to see that.
That's really interesting that you say that because you don't really think about like I don't really ever consider like how we could build a pyramid in the modern day.
We couldn't.
Like, thinking about it like that, thinking about like how much time they must have like put in like working on one project over like the duration of like almost like an entire life.
Yeah.
If they had spent that much time building things other than the single pyramid, think about how big their cities would have been. Like,
and think about how technologically advanced they would have been if they weren't spending so much time on tombs for their dead kings.
Yeah.
Imagine how much more technologically advanced they were. But it blows my mind away because I'm sure I'll get into this. I'm thinking about starting another podcast.
The science one?
Yeah, the science one. Me and Sydney might be getting into one to where a little bit more scientific things that I'm very passionate about. And I did want to bring up how, like, if you go to Greece and you look at some of the architecture and things in Greece that were done at the same era as the pyramids, they're literally like laser etchings in stone. And we, like, how could they have laser etched into stone? And there's literally pictures of astronauts and helicopters. And I mean, I don't mean to get all weird and crazy, like fucking, you know, tripping out on people. But like, there are these things, and the pyramids the rocks are so slim and so close together. It might not be the pyramids, it might be another structure, but like they're so close together that you can't even slide a piece of paper between them. They're precision. They're cut so perfectly. It's like, how could you have done that with no technology other than a chisel? And that's pretty mind-blowing. And so it makes you kind of wonder how things actually happen like that. With in the pyramids and in the tombs, they found pictures of people wearing astronaut-like costumes, and I don't know. It's pretty interesting to figure out, like, learn about those things.
Yeah.
Like, there was one other one that was, the Sphinx. Perfect example is how they could literally. So the rocks the Sphinx is carved out of a landscape. It's not made. It wasn't created. It was carved out of a landscape, right? So they dug into it and carved the outside of it.
Yeah.
So it's like all that extra material that they pulled out, which is tons and tons and tons and tons of rock. It's not only moved out of the way, but it's moved up the hill and it's stacked on top of each other for fun. Like the blocks that are sizes of houses full of stone are just like 2-story houses. They're just stacked, like, as their side material. Like they carved it out, moved it to the top of the hill, and it's like just stacked in like a garbage, like. We couldn't even stack those rocks today. So, like, that's kind of weird to think about. Like, I don't know.
All right, let's close this shit out with some life advice because we're running over.
All right.
All right, let me give you some life advice. Listen, I'm gonna give you life advice in the form of a song today.
Okay. Wow. Do you
Tis
want me to play some guitar? Or no?
Shit, I don't know if I can do something to the guitar.
I can play like 3 chords.
Okay.
All right. Really?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, let's do this. All
Are
right.
you getting an acoustic?
All right. Yep. Grabbing an acoustic. I have Brandon's.
Cool.
All right.
This will be fun, because my life advice is just so planned out. This is gonna be so fun.
I don't know how good this is gonna be, and I don't know how loud this is gonna be. Let's.
Just put the mic and point it towards it like your 12th fret.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see how loud this is.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Actually, it clipped a little, so I'll scoot it back a little. Here we go. How about this? So these are gonna be my 3 chords. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna go.
Play the. Give me a couple measures, and then I'll join in.
Okay, we're gonna go. Well, we'll go through. All right. These
Okay.
are gonna be. It's gonna be 3 chords. It's gonna be. Wait. It's gonna be.
Think about your life and remember me. I am just a boy and I have seen the sea. I'm freestyling this shit 'cause I got nothing to say. And all I can do is sing to you about the waves. Don't forget me, I'm cold.
Don't forget.
Don't forget me, I'm so cold.
So cold.
I'm dying in the wind and all I see is empty hearts. I won't die alone tonight. Think deep and drink deeper, philosophers.
Thanks, guys. What the fuck?
We'll just play the song.